Guys, it's a sad day for music.
Yep.
David Bowie, one of the most unique, innovative, and multi-talented artists ever, has passed away at 69 after battling cancer in secret for a year and a half. This shocking news is even more bizarre given that Bowie had just released a great new album less than a week ago, but this also goes to show that he knew what was coming and decided to leave the earth on his own terms.
Bowie first gained acclaim with his third album, 1970's The Man Who Sold the World, and for the next decade released a new album on an annual basis. From Hunky Dory to The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, to Aladdin Sane, to Diamond Dogs, to Young Americans, to Station, to Low, to Heroes, to Lodger, to Scary Monsters, and along the way he racked up an astonishing number of hit songs that are still widely heard to this day.
But aside from being a skilled pop artist, Bowie's work often pushed into avant-garde territory, never settling for one safe, specific sound. He went from folk rock to glam rock to soulful dance music to experimental electronic music in the course of just a few years, while working alongside artists like Brian Eno, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, Nile Rodgers, and Queen.
And along with changes in his sound came changes in the entire way he presented himself. More than probably any other artist, Bowie constantly reinvented himself, refusing to be tied down to one static definition of who he is, with his ever-evolving look being just the most obvious tip of the iceberg.
Even after his prolific heyday, Bowie managed to put out great music every couple years, with 2002's Heathen, 2013's The Next Day, and his final album Black Star, reminding the world that he still had it. Even before the revelation that Black Star had intentionally been created by Bowie as a farewell album, reviewers were praising it as some of the most adventurous work of his career.
In addition to being a gifted musician, Bowie also acted in several films, including The Man Who Fell to Earth, Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, Labyrinth, The Last Temptation of Christ, Twin Peaks' Fire Walk with Me, and The Prestige. He also had a cameo on Ricky Gervais's series Extras, which is probably the best cameo by a musician playing themselves ever.
Yeah, probably. David Bowie will be severely missed, not just for the mountain of work that he leaves behind, but because by all accounts, he was a very kind man and a guy who clearly could have kept making great music for years to come.
Yeah, but in true Bowie fashion, he went out on his own terms, not notifying the press or even his friends that he was sick, and using the last of his energy to create one of the best and most modern albums of his career, refusing to die until he saw through the whole process.
In fact, the whole album, from the lyrics to the music videos, is, in hindsight, so clearly about Bowie facing death in his own way. But he wanted it to stand on its own, at least temporarily, and not simply be the David Bowie death album. And it does stand on its own very well.
Yeah.
So, farewell, and thank you for all the wonderful art that you gave the world. You'll always be remembered as one of the greats, and you'll continue to be an inspiration for artists everywhere.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to check something out, go read the farewell thing that Brian Eno just wrote. And also check out the music video for Lazarus.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty surreal.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's very blatant, but
yeah, well, lyrics, everything. It's just little.
Yeah, we were talking about the album last week because I listened to it a lot on our trip to Miami.
Like, damn, this is pretty dark for an old man.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is great. This is like, what a great album. And it's sad because it's someone that, I mean, for both of our lives, has literally always been there.
Yeah.
So it's strange to see something like this happen. I mean, obviously, Labyrinth was probably my introduction to him, besides his amazing music career. But, you know, I don't know. He touched so many people's lives, so that's kind of why we're doing this video about him. It's not often that someone that's truly legendary passes away.
I mean, for me, like when I first started getting into music, I was all about classic rock and pretty much exclusively listen to that, but by getting into David Bowie, that was sort of like a gateway to a lot more like weirder shit out there.
Yeah. Well, the cod piece in Labyrinth was pretty weird.
And a lot of weird cod pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a real chameleon.
And his art lives on. His son is an amazing director,
Yeah.
Duncan Jones, who did Moon and Source Code and directed the upcoming Warcraft movie. So his legacy lives on in Duncan Jones, and I'm sure that he's going to continue to do great work. It's a sad day for everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time with some hopefully happier news.
Bye.